Those spirit houses, are they popular only in Cambodia, or they're like spread out through the whole continent of Asia?
Well, in even in the Muslim culture, they know the spirit world is real. Depending on what Muslim you deal with, they deal with this, and a lot of people have what we would call little idols. Some type of way uh, statue, some type of instrument. So in Cambodia, Vietnam, Myanmar, uh, those are predominantly Muslim. I mean, Buddhist people. You have them also in India. So India is filled with idols, just all kinds of different statues and stuff. And even in our country of Cambodia, we have many Hindu statues and Hindu gods, and they're very, people bow down. There's one, so there's a little tiny house. If you're poor, your little spirit house is made real cheaply with some little uh, low cost instant ways. If you have more money, or you can have a very fancy spirit house. And what they do with that is they take the bone. Now remember, they cremate the bodies. That's part of the pagan way to burn the body. So they take the thumb bone. When they after they burn the body, they take the thumb bone. The Buddhist monk will take that bone and they put it into the spirit house. And what's supposed to happen is the ghost, let's say grandma died, so grandma will come back to that spirit house and she'll visit. And when people bring food to grandma, they bring her favorite. Let's say her favorite was rice and beans, rice and chicken. They put that out. They cook it, and the poorer you are, of course, the leaner your diet or whatever, the more elaborate, the more money. You put a real nice meal. There's a really nice food. They put it right in front of there. Looks like you're at a fancy restaurant. And I see neighbors of mine put a beautiful table out, and there are several Buddhist holidays, and they're trying to appease the ghost, because in their religious belief, when somebody dies, everybody goes to hell. Everybody has to pay, because karma. If you do bad, you have to pay. So everybody goes to some type of place of punishment. But you can come out of that place and go to your next life, and then you're born again, and then you have another life and another life, another life, and you keep having lives. You're reincarnation. So in the spirit house, your grandma's ghost comes there to visit. You bring her food. You say a prayer to grandma. You ask grandma to give you the good luck. Grandma, take care of me. And if you don't bring grandma the right offering, maybe she'll make you sick. And then you have, oh, grandma, I'm sorry. And we had a boy who heard the gospel for the first time. He was like a 15-year-old Buddhist kid. He believed the gospel. He never heard it. He believed it for the first time. And I was explaining to him about the spirit world. That very night, he had a demon come to him, and the demon was in the form of his grandmother. And the boy remembered what I was telling him, that it's not your grandmother. But he said the puzzling part was it looked just like his grandmother. It talked like his grandmother. And listen to this. It knew things that only the grandmother would know. So he was convinced it had to be the grandmother. And the grandmother was telling the boy, you are making problems for me. I cannot go to my next life because now you are following Jesus. You have to stop following Jesus, or I cannot get out of the place of suffering and go to the next life. Well, the boy, he loves his grandma. So he's thinking, oh boy, I don't want my grandma to suffer. What am I going to do? Now remember, the guy just became Christian the day before. So right away, he's faced with this dilemma. What do I do? I love grandma. And he told me that he remembered some of my instruction. And he looked at the spirit, the grandma, and he says, you're not my grandmother. And they argued for a little while back and forth. And finally, the grandmother's image changed to an ugly creature. And then the ugly creature grabbed his throat and twisted his mouth. And the evil spirit said, now you will be crippled the rest of your life because you refused to denounce Jesus. And he said he tried. He said he tried. I told him, anytime you're in trouble, just cry out, Pre Jesus, Pre Jesus, cry out. So he said he tried to cry out. Nothing could come out of his throat. Finally, he felt like a fire inside the center of him. And this 14, 15-year-old boy is telling me the story how all of a sudden a fire went up his throat and it loosed his tongue and he cried out, Pray Jesus, help me. And this evil spirit left him. It's a powerful. See, we think Buddhists in America is a philosophy, but all these nice Buddhists around you, they're pagans. And they're praying to dead spirits. They're praying to the dead. Does the Bible say to pray to the dead? No, don't do that. Don't. I'm sorry your mom died. I really am. I'm sorry your grandmother died. Don't talk to the dead. You'll be opening the door. I know a lot of cultures do that. Don't do that. You're violating God's word and you're opening the door to a lying spirit who will come in the form of your mother, your grandmother, or your aunt, or even your child. You know how grief a parent is to lose a child? All of a sudden to see the child in a dream come to them or talk to them. Wow. Very deceptive.
Yeah, yeah. It's thank you for this. It's very eye opening. I just want to make two quick comments. First, I didn't know that all these spirit houses were spread out Asia. So it's not just in one country. There's to so many different places, and they're usually related with Buddhism or Hinduism, from what I'm picking up from you. And
Right.
second thing, even in my culture, even in my country, so from Eastern Europe. Unfortunately, there's this pagan custom that is living until the 21st century, where people wait on the 40th day of their beloved ceasing, and then they will go to their graveyard with all this food and water and drinks and alcohol, pour out, drink, a little bit of from the alcohol to the ground, and serve this food, this
Yep.
tasty, wonderful, expensive food. Many times these people will be poor, and they would serve to other people who come to the graveyard to pay the respect to the dead one, right? And they would all eat and drink supposedly for the soul of the deceased one. And I think that even some of the Eastern Orthodox people call them to stop, because this is paganism. Like, whatever you think you're doing, that you're honoring your dead person, you cannot eat or drink for them. They're dead, period. Don't summon them. Don't think by you drinking this water that you're doing for the spirit. The spirit does not need water or a food. You need it. They don't need it. So I see this in many cultures, how they're still uh idolizing ancestors. It's almost this it's not almost, it is this pagan cult of worshiping, idolizing, and respecting your dead ancestors out of fear and out of superstition, because you think
Mm.
they can do something good or bad to you. But newsflash, they cannot.